want to share an experience I had with you as a way of processing and trying to understand what happened. And most of it is bizarre. I went to a greenhouse yesterday, it was always amazing. So many beautiful, wonderful plants, and I was having a wonderful time. I found two of the plants that I was looking for. But while I was there, a woman walked up to me, and she was like my age, and we started chatting, and we started talking about the different energy patterns, and it was a very spiritual level, and it was wonderful. And after we both bought our plants, I was waiting for the bus, and we went out and we were talking in the parking lot, and she said something, and I made a comment that, trumpsters, I don't even remember what it was, but it was a negative comment about trumpsters. And she got a weird look on her face, and she started defending Trump, and I was like, how can you be this spiritual and still support someone who is so negative and so bigoted and misogynistic? And she started defending him. And she basically said, I didn't know what I was talking about. That I was, she goes back to the source. And it went downhill from there. And she brought up abortion. It's like, do you believe in abortion? And it's like, what other women do with their body is none of my business. But if I had gotten pregnant, yes, I would have aborted, because I am not children and me are not a good match. But that would be my decision. And she said that she had had an abortion, and she greatly regretted it, and that was a reason that she had, when she did have a child, that she was being punished, so her child was given a disease. At that point, I realized there was no good end to this. And so, when you're involved in the conversation that is going off the rails, you try to fix it at first, but then you start looking for a door. And I probably at that point should have walked away. I should have walked away, because there was nothing good that was going to come out of this. But the things that she brought up were outrageous. She made the claim that President Biden took showers with his daughter. If that was actually real, instead of a right-wing nut conspiracy, it would, women's group would be all over it. But she cited the daughter's diary, and frankly, that diary as evidence is totally irrelevant. The chain of custody, anybody who could, there's so many things wrong with that. From the very beginning, it being stolen and released. And the sources that released it were not reliable. And no, he is, according to her, he is the best thing since sliced bread. She, totally has bought all the fake conspiracies. And as I'm looking away for, hoping the bus would show up, her friend walked up who works for Jack Bergman. And so basically they double teamed me. And I kept pointing out to them, Jack is not a patriot. He's a traitor. He voted to not certify the election. He also voted against all those programs that are helping the nation and taking credit for them. You know, the infrastructure, the broadband, Wi-Fi, all those things, and he's taking credit for what he tried to destroy. And the bus finally showed up, and I went away. And actually, I ran away because I had to catch the bus. But the thing of it is, I don't know why that happened. She did such a complete flip that it was almost, it was shocking and startling. And I did not know how to process the two people, because she was like two different people, and the one was very loving and compassionate and spiritual, and the other one was a lunatic, in my opinion. And I didn't know how to reconcile the two. And I'm sure it was a test by the universe to see just how far down the rabbit hole I would go. And I think it brought the bus and had it drove past me as a way of getting me out of that situation. So I'm grateful for that. But I just don't know how to reconcile that experience. It is my first experience with a true trumpster who has no concept of reality. They have thrown all their morals out and all their compassion, and have chosen to support somebody who is so vulgar and selfish. And that's one of the things that she accused me of doing, because in my tradition, souls are forever and bodies are temporary. And life truly begins when the soul enters the body at the first breath. And when she said, she accused me of being selfish because I wouldn't provide that soul that specific body. And it's like, some souls just, they aren't strong enough or, have the ability to incarnate. So they will do a test run with people who they know will not carry it to term, and force them to stay in a body that they are not capable of sustaining. And she said that she knew her children's souls were in and out of the body, and of course they were working with your soul to create the body. But you don't move into a house that isn't built. So I'm trying to process this as a way of understanding that mentality. I don't know if maybe it's because it's so foreign to me. I'm having difficulty. Anyway, I hope you have a spectacular day, and I'm going to be gardening today. Love to you all.